2 years, environmental experts release a climate assessment for Oregon. This year's report came out yesterday, and while it does have some of the dire predictions that we've all gotten used to as we navigate our warming planet, this one feels a little bit different. Oregon's average yearly temperature has already risen 2.2 degrees per century since 1895, and as greenhouse gas emissions continue at their current pace, Oregon's average summer temperatures could be as much as 10 degrees hotter by 2080. And that's just one of the many alarming figures in this report. So it was a little surprising when the lead author of the report said one of her biggest takeaways is optimism. She said events like the heat dome and the Labor Day fires of 2020 have been catalyzing change for a lot of Oregonians.
People are looking at climate change in a lot of different ways. I mean, through whatever lenses are important to them, and finding increasingly diverse and creative ways to try to maintain quality of life and livelihoods.
A lot of that has to do with adaptation. A survey in the report found that people from all over the state are better prepared for extreme weather and wildfires. They're making evacuation plans and volunteering to make their communities more resilient to heat, fire, and smoke. Cutting emissions is important, but so is adapting to the warming that we know is coming. Cale joins me now. Cale, there's some concerning things in the report, right?
Absolutely. A lot of the things in this report are going to have real effects on real people's lives, and it's worth a read. We've got a link to it up on kgw.com right now, and I'd encourage everyone to take a look.
And what about the timing? Why does it come out right now?
So these reports come out every 2 years. That's actually mandated by a bill that was passed, and I think it was 2008. So this is as much a political document as it is a scientific one. This report is one of the things that policymakers will use when they're crafting laws around environmental issues.
And it's my understanding that maybe there's been some meeting of the minds, if you will, between the political parties on this?
A little bit. So one of the things that Fleischman told me is that, she works with a bunch of different legislators from both sides of the aisle, and she sees them as really coming together sort of all on the same page, knowing that climate change is an issue that we need to tackle together.
Which is really interesting because you would assume that it's a Democrat-Republican thing, probably more rural Republicans. A lot of people would assume that they are maybe more against climate change, but in reality, the people that I've talked to, and I think maybe some of the folks you've talked to, that's not the case. A lot of people on all sides of the aisle in Oregon are concerned about this.
Yeah, and I think a lot of that has to do with what we've seen over the last couple of years. I mean, the 2020 wildfires, the 2021 heat dome, these were really galvanizing events for a lot of people who realized that something's got to change.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see what the legislature does as they try to make incremental changes at least.
Absolutely.
All right, thank you, Cale.
Appreciate it.